Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Pen Decker of Kong Tech Fu, reminding you once again to own nothing but to control everything. I want to let you in on a little secret. Know and understand that no one can do anything to you unless you give your consent. This is why the powerful will always come for you. We have a dilemma. And our dilemma are two powerful forces known as bankers and politicians. The bankers control the politicians, and the politicians control you. They are the ones that make the laws. So, how do we get ourselves out of this debacle? Well, it's quite simple, ladies and gentlemen. We must become the rightful masters of ourselves. Through financial independence is why we are here. You see, we must understand privacy and anonymity as they both play into your strategy. Because if there is nothing to attack, there is nothing for them to feast upon. As an instructor of martial arts myself, I know and understand the secret of full and empty. The secret of full and empty says that when an opponent strikes or attempts to strike a part of your body, you make it empty so that his blow lands on nothing. So we are here to talk today about privacy and anonymity as it relates to cryptocurrency, ladies and gentlemen. There are other things that we can do as well, but we must be proactive. You see, if you are reactionary, then you don't have a hope. Because your enemy is very proactive. He is very calculating, and they move many steps ahead, which is why if you don't play chess, I suggest that you start. Because chess trains your consequential thinking, and it allows you to start thinking moves ahead. At least 4 moves ahead. And if you don't understand that, 4 moves simply mean I do this, you do that, I do this, you do that. That's 4 moves, ladies and gentlemen. So we are here to first and foremost, we're going to look at a quick little caption, about 10 to 20 seconds, about Andrew Tate explaining to us why privacy is important. So with that, let's get straight to it.
If you are involved in crypto, you are going to jail. Artificial intelligence is scanning the blockchain and providing fully completed indictments to the IRS. You're all catching tax avoidance charges, and you're all catching money laundering charges. Every single one of you. It's not going to be a matter of them finding the person and then investigating where his money has went. Instead, they're going to investigate the entire blockchain, find all the money, all the places it's ever gone. AI is going to put it all together, and if they can link any of it to any individual, they're going to ask the respective country, has he paid enough tax? And when the answer is no, you're going to end up in front of a judge. And the judge ain't going to have a clue about blockchain. He ain't going to have a clue about crypto. He's not even going to understand it. He's going to sit there and go, I don't understand any of this. I don't want to look stupid. Let me just put him in jail. That's what's going to happen. If you're involved in crypto, artificial intelligence across the next 3 years is going to be literally handing sealed indictments to law enforcement. How does Andrew Tate know this? What if I were to say it's already happening? What if I were to say it's just begun and in 3 years it's going to get a whole bunch worse? Zero knowledge proof privacy solutions. You need them now. You need to start implementing them now. I know they're a pain in the ass, but zero knowledge proof is something you must do now. Because if you think, it's okay, I'm just moving a little bit of money, it doesn't matter. In 8 or 9 years, when the AI has literally scanned every single part of every single blockchain, that's when you'll catch your case for what you're doing today. Retrospectively, 9 years later. Your actions you're taking today, you're going to regret in a decade when you stand in front of a judge. Unless you begin to take your privacy seriously. Crypto is the future, absolutely. Artificial intelligence is the future, absolutely. And making sure that you take privacy seriously so that AI cannot be used to wreck you for using crypto is also the future. Anybody who is not taking zero knowledge proof privacy solutions seriously is going to heavily regret it in the coming years, because AI is being specifically trained with one purpose: get your money. Guys, Europe is broke. America's on the edge. They have no money. They want your money. They want it. Anyone with any kind of money is using crypto. They are after what you've got. They want your stuff. They're going to use the machines to find it. They're going to link it all. They're going to find where it went. They're going to put it together in a nice, long, juicy indictment. You're going to be looking at 23 years for money laundering and tax evasion because your lazy ass didn't take privacy seriously now. And the only reason I'm making this video is because my brand is based on flawless prediction of the future. When this begins to the public, because at my echelon, at the highest possible echelon of society, in my circles, it's already happening. When it becomes public knowledge for you nobodies, for you peasants, you're going to sit and go, wow, Kate was right. I should have listened to him. Zero knowledge proof. Take privacy seriously, because I promise you, it's no longer about an investigator investigating you and finding your money. It's about AI finding all the money and then deciding who they need to take to court and put in jail so they can steal it.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So, a word to the wise. It is better to be prepared than to not be prepared. Will that happen? Is he actually making accurate predictions? I don't think he's making predictions at all. I think he simply knows the roadmap. Matter of fact, I know he knows the roadmap. When you understand the powerful forces that are controlling humanity, you know. Now, people have gone and started discussing, you know, they fall right into these traps. And one of the traps is when you hear terms like conspiracy theory. That is a mind trap, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, because a conspiracy is an actual thing. But when you put the word theory behind it, it changed the whole implication, because theory means something that is abstract and or speculative. So basically, when somebody is using technology and they tell you that it's a conspiracy theory, what they're really saying is you don't see what you're looking at. Oh, there's a red Camaro in front of me. No. You don't actually see that. They're going to tell you that you don't see what you're directly looking at. And because of psychological things, you know, suspension of disbelief and all of that, you see, these people study your mind. And they understand how to manipulate you and or to manufacture consent. So what he's talking about when he says ZK rollups, what he's talking about are privacy coins like Zcash. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of them. And this is basically has the same skeletal structure as Bitcoin, you know, 21 million and all of that, you know, saying scarcity. You know, these guys were even, you know, of the original cyberpunks. You got Edward Snowden, who took part in the ceremony of, you know, creating this, you know. So yeah, it's a great team. It's been around. This is not a fly by night project. This has been around for some time. And even in the early days, you know, Zuko and a couple of the other guys, they actually had direct interactions with Satoshi when he was, you know, doing the email thing before he disappeared. So this is not at all anything new. This basically goes back into the annals of direct Bitcoinishness, if you will. Okay, that's one of them. And of course, the second one you might want to look at is what you might call the king of privacy coins, which is Monero. Now, the governments, they hate Monero. They hate Monero so much. Before the regime that we have in office now, you know what I'm saying, which is, you know, the orange man, people like to call him. You know who that is, you know. And before we had a pro-crypto government, which we now have through President Donald Trump, you know, they were coming after it hard. Elizabeth Warren, Gary, you know, what's his name? Gary, Gary, you know, Elizabeth Warren's dog, you know, the head of the SEC, you know, Gary coming after us. And yeah, man. So now we have a little bit of a respite, you know, because we have a pro-crypto government. And you should also understand there are many privacy coins that you can get into. There's also Zera, which is on Solana, which is another ZK roll-up, type of privacy coin. There are many. I suggest you get into the more popular ones like Zcash and Monero. And there's a few others. Zera is a good one as well. As a matter of fact, let me bookmark this. And concerning that, ladies and gentlemen, we also have a platform today where it actually, on Solana, that actually allows you to hide your transactions, kind of like a wallet within a wallet. And it's called VANISH.trade, ladies and gentlemen. I will leave my referral link down below. And what it does is instant private trading with compliance on Solana, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what you can do is you can buy, sell, and trade anonymously and or privately, ladies and gentlemen, so that it never shows up on the blockchain. All right. So if you want to be progressive and you want to be prepared for what may or may not happen concerning the government in the future and them coming for your assets, the first thing you want to do is you want to start erasing your digital footprint on the blockchains, because blockchains tell on you, and that was never really meant to be, but this is what ZK rollups is kind of factoring into the equation. Now, you can go over here. This is the swap section where you can go and you can swap into different coins over here. You could even come in here and paste the contract address of whatever coin you're looking for. All right. And then, of course, you're going to bring Solana in here and you have your portfolio. So in my portfolio, you see I've got a little Solana. I've got a little tokenized stock, Berkshire Hathaway. I've got a little bit of the OR token, and I've got a little bit of Zcash, ZEC, on Solana in here as well. So this is like my sub wallet within the wallet. Now, also, you have rewards here, because just by holding your Solana in here, the protocol Vanish actually gives you rewards, ladies and gentlemen. So, and then I've got my referral link down here, which I will be leaving down in the description below. So come and join my team and let's make this money together. And, saying ninja fashion, doing our ninja magic and all. And there's also other things that you can do. You should roll this around your head too. When I first entered the video, I told you guys that I am always reminding you to own nothing but control everything. How do you do that? You do that by starting either an LLC, a trust, or a private investment foundation, ladies and gentlemen. And the private investment foundation is kind of like a conglomeration between a trust and an LLC, So basically it's a trust, but it has the powers of an LLC and or a corporation. So you can check and research that all on your own. But if I were you, I would at the very least form a trust so that when you do become as you become financially independent, you can continuously put your funds into the trust so that if anybody comes for you, wants to sue you, the government comes after you in your portion of the world, they can't get your assets because there is nothing to get, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So that's what you want to do. So between the privacy coins and between protocols like this, Vanish, I will be giving you other protocols, for you to do. But I'm going to place this referral link down in the description below. I might even place it in the comments section as well, because when you go to YouTube, if you click that little button that says more when they're describing the video, that's where the description is, and that's where you will go to get these official URLs that I give you. And the reason why I give you guys these official URLs, one, is because I want you guys to join my team, obviously, so I can be, saying the front man, saying guiding you guys into the, through these shark infested waters, because they indeed are shark infested waters. These hackers never sleep. Okay, everybody is coming for what you've got, whether they're hackers, whether they're criminals, outright criminals, whether they're people in the government, or whether they're the banksters themselves. Because you see, crypto scares the hell out of the banksters, because you were never supposed to have the ability to be your own bank, ladies and gentlemen. So of course, now that they can't stop it, they used to ignore us, and when they got tired of ignoring us, they laughed at us. When they got tired of laughing at us, they started fighting us. And now that they can no longer fighting us, now they're joining us, because they too see that this is their salvation. Because at some point, we now have a $38 trillion, inflation tab. And every 65 to 85 days, we go up another $1 trillion. Very soon, it will be every 50 days, and then 30 days, and then 20 days. In a few years, ladies and gentlemen, the inflation will go up $1 trillion every 24 hours, because they're going to have to print the money, you see. And when they print the money, that means the purchasing power of the dollar goes down. So this is also why you want to be in crypto, not only so that you can earn yield, not only so that you can earn dividends, not only so that you can, you see, when it comes to getting money, you have to do three things. You have to get the money, you have to keep the money so that you can grow the money, which means you must behave like the wealthy, ladies and gentlemen. This means you're going to need tokenized gold. You're going to need Kinesis Money. You're going to need tokenized gold that is also redeemable. You're going to need stuff like Cape. This one right here. You're going to need Cape, which is a phone service that allows you to not to make you impervious to SIM swapping. Because once somebody SIM swaps you, they get everything. They get your social security card. They get access to your bank accounts. They can even get onto your social media and start doing all types of crazy stuff there. Basically just destroy your life, and there'll be nothing that you can do about it. So, protect yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Protect yourselves from SIM swapping. And also know the difference between financial securities and digital assets. You see, financial securities, as Andrew Tate was talking about, financial securities generate a taxable event. Digital assets do not. This is why the SEC, dragged the Ripple company that produces XRP through court for over 4 years. You see, because if they could prove that XRP was a security, man, they could milk them to the end of days. Billions and billions and billions of dollars. Don't worry, people. I'm not going to do my Donald Trump impression for you. But no, it's that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. So once you understand what you hold is digital assets, you do not have to worry about taxable events. So the IRS cannot come to you and say that you owe them money, because there is no taxable events that can be generated for digital assets. This is why they must prove that what you're holding is a security. Now, there will be some financial things that you enter into that will be financial securities, but you should already have, your accountant, or your CPA on top of all of that. Okay. Also, I'll put down a description, my personal crypto broker, which is the best in the world, coming out of Australia. And Australia is pretty much like New York City used to be. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere, because they have the strictest financial laws in the world, especially concerning crypto. So these brokers, will work for you round the clock to not only you can custody your assets with Caleb and Brown. You could ask them questions. You get your own financial advisor. You can have them buy any crypto that may be difficult to get, because different exchanges don't have certain cryptos you may be interested in. So no worries, ladies and gentlemen. You do not have to live in fear. All you have to do is be proactive and be in the business of protecting your own behind. Okay? And we're here in crypto so that we don't get left behind, ladies and gentlemen. So with that, this is the Penn Decker signing off once again. Always reminding you guys to be your own bank. Own nothing but control everything. and to get this crypto.